Good. What's good, fam? How y'all doing? Come on in, come on in, come on in. You know how we do every Sunday night. Every Sunday night, 7 o'clock. That's what time we're going to pick. 7, 6 o'clock. We're going to try to come to you live. What's up, y'all? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm excited about tonight because what I want to bring to you tonight is something special. I want to bring to you something special. A lot of you know my story. I'm only going to tell you a little bit about it, but this tonight is called Your Problems Had a Purpose. Your problems had a purpose. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about how your problems had a purpose. A lot of times we think when we're going through it, we think, man, wow, why am I going through this again? Or why am I going through this period? And your problems have a purpose. They always had. The thing that I understand now in my life that I'm trying to share with everybody is this, is everything that you've dealt with and everything you've been through, it had a purpose to get you where you are right now. It also has a purpose to get you where you're going to be in the future. You know, all of these things were the training that you had to go through. You had to go through training. Had a wonderful time at church today, and Pastor was talking about that, talking about the training that we're going through. But all of this that you've been through is the training. Your problems had a purpose. I'm telling you. And it's so funny because we think all the time, dang, I just been through something. I've said before, either you're going through it or you getting out of it. You either going through it, you getting out of it, but you going through something. So here we go. Let me tell you why I'm telling you. And I see I got about 8 people. I'm good. I told you if I got one person, we still gonna make it rock. They can watch the video later because I know that my purpose is bigger than the position that I'm currently in. See, your purpose is bigger than the position that you're currently in. See, that position that you're in right now, that's not the definition of where you're going to be, just as long as you continue to learn. Learn where you are so you can be prepared for your future. So this is why I say your problems had a purpose. I remember it. Some of you have heard this story, but those of you who haven't, here we go. I remember when I got kicked out of my second high school. This is the second high school that I've been kicked out of. And remember, my mother, all she wanted to do was have a better life for me. That's why I have so much admiration for women, for mothers, because you guys are doing a phenomenal job. And I know y'all might have a knucklehead that y'all praying for, that y'all thinking, man, what's going on? Is he ever going to learn? Is she ever going to learn? And I'm here to tell you, they are learning. Just stay on them. Stay on them. But I remember getting kicked out of that second high school. And I remember my mother and I coming home because we live right across the street from the high school that I was going to called Nogales in West Covina. Shout out to all my people from Nogales. And I remember I went in the house and my mother had already been in the house. And I remember my mother in her room. And my mother was crying. I could hear her crying through the door and I could hear her praying. I could hear her praying saying, God, what is my son going to do? What is he going to do with his life? I can hear her just talking, God, what is my son going to do? I remember myself going over to the door, knocking on the door, and asking my mother, Mom, are you all right? And she said this. She said, Damon, she said, get away from the door. I don't know what you're going to do with your life because I don't know that you understand the importance of what you did right now. And what I did was got kicked out of that second high school. She said, Damon, I don't know what you're going to do with your life. All I ever wanted for you was something good, something different. That's why I moved from Cleveland to California, because I wanted something different for you. For all my young people that's watching this, see, somebody is sacrificing for you. Somebody is doing something for you because they want to see you be in a different position. And a lot of times when we're young, we don't understand that. We don't understand the sacrifice that our parents, that our grandparents, that our aunts, that our uncles, my student athletes, that our coaches, we don't understand the sacrifice that people are making for us. And so my mother said, get away from the door. So I go over to the living room, and I'm going to be honest with you. Those of you who have heard this story, I start crying. I started crying because I started thinking about all the things that my mother had done. And all I was doing is I kept getting in trouble. I kept getting myself in the same situation and getting the same type of response from those situations, which was always negative. Remember, there's going to be a negative or a positive response to everything that we get involved with. There's consequences. And so my consequences were always negative. But this is why I say your problems had a purpose. While my mother was on the floor crying, what if? What if the doorbell had rung and my mother got herself together and she went down and she opened the door? What if when she opened the door, it was a person standing there who said, Denise, stop crying. Your son one day will be a doctor. Denise, stop crying. Your son one day will travel around the country and he'll talk to high school students about the importance of education. Denise, stop crying, because one day your son will change the lives of millions of people, because he'll get them to understand that their problems had a purpose. See, at that time, my mother probably would have slammed the door, went to her room and thought, man, that was the craziest person I ever met in my life. Because my mother couldn't see what my future was going to be, because I was making choices that were affecting my future in such a negative way. See, that's why we worry about you as parents. We worry about you because we know that the decisions that you're making can ultimately affect and will affect your future. But here's the reality of that story. See, those problems that I was getting into then, it had a purpose. See, the reason why I'm able to speak around the country, the reason why I'm able to do what I do, is because my mess has created a message. And it's created a message that people will pay all kind of money to have me come in to try to change lives. See, my problems had a purpose. See, the things that you're involved in right now, and you know what you need to change. You know what you need to stop doing. We all do. I know the different things that I'm constantly working on. See, here's my philosophy on this whole life thing is, I don't think we'll ever figure out truly what exactly life was all about until we're on our deathbed. And then we're going to go, oh, and then we're going to pass away. See, I think we're all a work in progress. We're all a work in progress trying to get through the process to get to our purpose. I think that's what we are. We're all a work in progress. But here's the thing. A lot of us, we get so afraid of the different things that get in front of us that we're supposed to conquer. See, it's some things that's happening in your life that you're not supposed to run away from. Those things you're supposed to conquer. Those things you're supposed to learn the lesson, and you're supposed to do it different than you did it the time before so you can pass the test. But here's what happens too. Is some of you, I know you're using your cell phones, and the cell phones are more updated, but this right here, a GPS system. This is how our life is. It's like a GPS system that's running through our body. And so sometimes when we're going through those problems or whatnot, and a lot of times, most of the times, we bring the problems on ourselves. So let's be real clear. Those things are happening because we put ourselves in a position and we put ourselves in a situation that some of the things we brought on ourselves. But it's not the end. It's just how are we going to deal with those things that we're going through in order to learn a lesson to be able to pass the test. So we're supposed to go through them. But we're like a GPS. You know how you program the GPS? And if you make a wrong turn, because it has a flow and a way that you're supposed to go. See, we all got a flow and a purpose that we're supposed to head in. But what happens a lot of times is we get distracted from that purpose that we're supposed to. We get distracted by this. We get distracted by that. But we have this purpose because it's all in the GPS. It's all in the GPS. It's all in this satellite that's telling us what we're supposed to do. But we get distracted. And what's interesting is this, even though we get distracted, and here's the wonderful thing about this thing called life, even though we get distracted and we wind up over here and we know we're supposed to be over there, what happens is it comes on and it says recalculating, or rerouting. See, it'll say recalculating or rerouting when we mess up. But all we need to do is when it says recalculating or rerouting is understand that now we're in a position that we're not supposed to be in. We weren't supposed to be over here. We were supposed to be over here. But now that we're over here, It's important for us to recalculate. It's important for us to go back to the destination that we were supposed to be headed in. See, and that's what's happening to a lot of young people. Is a lot of young people and old people too. See, we're allowing those different distractions to get us off of the purpose that we're supposed to be in. See, our problems had a purpose. But many times, those problems, we end up doing it again and again and again, and we wonder why it continues to happen, because we continue to do the same things. If we want something different, we got to do something different. If we want to get to the destination that was designed for you, the destination that was designed for me, we got to recalculate. See, every day, every morning that we wake up, every single morning that you and I wake up, we have an opportunity to recalculate. Recalculate. And see, here's the thing. Even though you can continue to go down the wrong streets, even though you go down and you go a little bit too far, it'll say recalculating. And it tries to put you back on where you're supposed to be. And you can continue to go the wrong way, but it'll continue to recalculate, because that's how life is. Life is always going to give you an opportunity. Every morning when you wake up, you have another opportunity. I have another opportunity to do things different than I did in the past. And we got to recognize that. Every time we open our eyes and we put our feet down, we got an opportunity to do something different that we didn't do to get us to our purpose that we're supposed to be at. See, this thing over here, that when we following our friends, young people, when we're following our friends and we wind up at their destination, not our destination, shame on us. Because we will never feel comfortable in another person's destination, because it wasn't designed for us. We can only feel comfortable, and we will only be in our right positioning when we're in our destination. That's why, if you think about it, you know it's been something inside of you that tells you. It tells you, nah, I'm not supposed to be doing this. Nah, I'm not supposed to be acting this way. Nah, I'm better than this. See, we all have that internal thing inside of us, and we know, because I believe in God, we got that spirit inside of us that tells us that we're not supposed to be doing something. But a lot of times we ignore it. We ignore it because we don't want our friends to think that we're different. But the reality is we are different. You've always known it was something different about you. I've always known it was something different about me. I always knew I was going to do something great. I didn't know what it was, but I knew I was going to do something great because I always had older people who believed in me and told me I could do great things. I believe in you and I believe you can do great things, but you got to recalculate. You got to get back on the path that was designed for you. Stop trying to be like your friends, because everybody don't want to be successful. See, here's the thing. A lot of us think that our friends want to be successful, and a lot of our friends don't want to be successful. They talk about wanting to be successful, but they ain't willing to do what it takes. See, that's what's going to separate successful people from some people who don't want to be successful, but they say they want to be successful, is they going to have to put in the work. You're going to have to grind. You're going to have to say, you know what? I know there's something that I'm supposed to be doing, and I know that this ain't where I'm supposed to be. See, I've been in some crazy situations over here with other people. And in those situations, I've been like, man, I'm better than this. I'm better than this. I'm not better than them because they are just like me. We're all the same. We just choose to make different decisions at different points in our life. So I'm sitting in a room with different people and I'm like, I'm better than this. My mother has sacrificed too much for me to be in this position that I'm in. I had other people who prayed too hard for me to be in this position that I'm in, that I'm not supposed to be in. See, it's some things that you're supposed to be doing in your life. This all of us. We're supposed to be doing in our life, and shame on us if we ain't doing it. If we ain't doing that thing that was placed in us by God, see, man didn't give us these different things, these different gifts that we got. This was given to us by something bigger than what anybody else can give us. And so since we have this thing inside of us that's bigger than anybody can give us, we need to understand that we have an obligation. An obligation, y'all. We got an obligation to, while we have only this much time on this planet, to do all that we was purposed to do. And we can't do it living in somebody else's purpose, because that's their purpose. That's not your purpose. See, your purpose is over here. See, your purpose is over here, but on your purpose, you're going to have a whole bunch of problems that you're going to have to get through. See, that's the reality of it. In your purpose, you're going to have a whole lot of different things that you're going to have to go through. See, your purpose is going to have you doing things and have you thinking, man, I can't do this, but you can do it because other people are doing it. There's other people who are living the life that you're supposed to be living. And what I need you to do, as I say that, I need you to congratulate them. See, we can't be jealous. We can't be hating. See, when we hate and when we're jealous of someone, we can't receive the blessings that we're supposed to have. If anything, let's celebrate people. Let's celebrate people who are doing those things that we say we want to do. Let's celebrate those people who are in great relationships. Because if those people are in great relationships, you know God has no respect to person, and you can be on a great relationship. It just ain't your time right now. But when your time comes, if you're prepared, if you're not running, you know, it's people who run from their purpose. And I get it. I ran from my purpose for so long. I really did. You know, I'm always trying to be transparent with y'all. I ran from my purpose for so long because I was like, man, if I can do the things that I dreamt about, if I can have the things, if I can speak to the millions of people that I know I'm going to speak to, it's scary. But let me tell you the secret of what I do. It's not about me. See, it's not about Damon. See, when Damon did it, Damon messed up and had his mother on the ground crying, begging Jesus to get me to understand my purpose on this planet. See, that's what Damon did. See, Damon still messes up all the time. But when I know and when I let go and understand that it's bigger than me. A lot of people ask me why I don't get nervous when I get on stage. I'm not nervous, I'm anxious. And the reason why I'm anxious is because I'm anxious to talk about my different problems that I had. My different problems, your problems have a purpose. My different problems that I had that helped me get into my purpose. See, we all got a story. See, everybody on this feed, everybody that watches this message, we all have different things that we've been through in life. And see, our job is to make sure that we're sharing those things. See, it's a dang shame when we've been through something and other people are going through, because there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. So our job is to be a testimony, is to say, you know what, hold on, young girl. I made it through. I had a child at an early age. This happened to me that was unfortunate, but I made it through. This is how I made it through. I made it through because I took the power from that situation. See, hey, hold on, young guy. Hold on, young guy. You don't like education. I ain't like education either. But what I found is the reason why I like education, because I didn't want people to understand or know that I didn't know how to do certain things. So I didn't know how to do math. That wasn't my thing. I didn't know how to do science. That wasn't my thing. So I had to go get help. I had to open up my mouth and go ask for help. And when I opened up my mouth and went and got a tutor. See, I went and got a tutor, someone who was good at that thing that I wasn't good at. That tutor helped me. See, that's why mentors are important, because mentors have been through the different situations and they've been through some problems that help them get into their purpose, because they understand that their problems had a purpose. See, it makes no sense to reinvent the wheel when you have people who have been before you who have already done some things and are going to experience some things that you're going to experience. It's people who own businesses. You want to own your own business. Why do you think that you got to create the blueprint? There's blueprints out there. You just need to push yourself to get outside of your comfort zone, to get around people who are doing what it is that you do. Because here's the thing. We don't ask those people for help. because we think we're supposed to know it all. You're not supposed to know it all. You're not supposed to know it all. You're supposed to know enough to pick up the phone or Google and find people who are doing what it is you do and invite them to lunch. Lunch on you. See, don't try to get information and you think they're gonna pay. No, invite them to lunch. Say, you know what? I just want to find out what your journey was about. I'm free. Can you just put some time in your schedule so I can just take it all in? See, that's what I try to do. I try to just take it all in. It's funny because I'm at church and I'm watching so many things happen. You know, the pastor's talking about this November. It's crazy how many things are happening. And I'm just sitting up just clapping, just excited for them. Because I know that oil runs. That oil runs down. See, who are you surrounding yourself with? See, when you're surrounding yourself with people who are trying to get it done, then you're going to want to get it done. I'm telling you, that's how it happens. When you surrounding yourself with people who are trying to get it done, people who are striving, people who are pushing, they going to push you. It rubs off. That's how it works. Iron sharpens iron. Who are you hanging around? I talked about that last week. Who are you associating with? Are you associating with people who they give up? They give up. And then they allow you to give up. Or are you hanging with people who going to push you? So when you doing something, they like, come on, you can get through this. Remember I told you the story how I got through it? Remember I told you the story how my problems helped me with my purpose. And now I'm in position where I'm living my purpose. I got to continue to tell you that, young man, young woman. I got to continue to tell you that, hey, your problems have a purpose. Because once you understand that your problems have a purpose, there's nothing you can't do. When you really understand that the thing you're going through right now, even though it seems crazy, it seems like, man, why am I going through this? It seems like, man, this going to break me. Nah, it ain't going to break you. It ain't going to break you. You know what it's going to do? It's going to make you stronger. It's going to make you stronger for that next thing that you're going to come up against. See, that's what problems are doing. Your problems is they making you strong. They making you strong. See, it's just like a weightlifter. You know, weightlifters, when they lifting, see, if they lift the same weight, they ain't gaining no muscle mass. They ain't gaining no muscle mass. If you going through the same situation, you ain't gaining no muscle mass. It's when you go putting some heavier weight on there. That's why your problems ain't the same as when you was younger. Your problems have increased. You going through different situations now than you did when you was a teenager, than you did when you was in your 20s. But guess what? You got through those situations. See, that's what we forget. See, we don't journal enough. We don't write down all of those different things that we were able to get through. And then when we go through something, we think, man, this gonna break me. But that last thing didn't break you. That last thing you went through didn't break you. It didn't break you. Even though you said, oh, this gonna break me. This. No, it didn't break you. But you got through that, and then everything good, then you turn up a little bit. You know how we do. We turn up a little bit. And then instead of understanding and preparing for the next thing, we then turned up. See, in your turn up, just remember that the next problem is coming. But when you start changing your mindset and start understanding that your problems have a purpose, then you're able to tackle it in a different way. Because when you understand that, all right, man, I see, okay, this is crazy that I'm going through. But okay, what can I learn? What can I learn from this? Okay. All right, cool. Okay, I made a bad deal this time. All right, cool. I made a bad deal, bad investment. Okay, what can I learn from this? Okay, because I'm going to make more investments. See, that's what mindset you got to have. I'm going to have more of this, so I'm glad I'm figuring out now how to deal with this, so when I have more of this, I'm able to handle it. People talk about all the time, they talk about people who win the lotto, and they say they go broke. The reason why they go broke is because they're not able to handle it. See, I know y'all can handle it, and let me tell you how I handle it. I already know I'm about to have millions and millions of dollars. I already know I'm associated with billions of people. I already know that I'm about to be able to bless so many people around the world. Already know it. Already see it. Already visualized it. Already have seen what my life is going to be like. And I try to live like that. Is it easy? It's hard sometimes. I'd be lying to make it seem like it's easy. It's hard sometimes. And the reason why it's hard because life hits us with all kind of stuff. It hits us with all kind of things. But that's what life is supposed to do. Life is supposed to hit us with all kind of things because it's trying to figure out if you really want it or you kind of want it. If you really want it or you kind of want it. See, I'm going to be real with you. When the lotto's real big, and my son laughs, when the lotto's real big, like now the Powerball's like 200-some million, I play it. The reason why I play it, and I tell my son, the reason why I play it is because I like to dream about what my house is going to look like. But he knows now when I play it, it's not about just thinking about what that ticket going to give me. Because I have the potential to make that. See, you have the potential to make what you choose to make. You just haven't chosen to make it yet. You have the potential to do what it is you were purposed to do. You just haven't made the decision to do it yet. See, when you truly make the decision, Tony Robbins got this thing that he says, when you truly get over to the island and you make the decision to burn your boats. See, the reason why he said you got to burn your boats is because ain't no way you getting back. You can't swim back across that ocean. So you burn your boats. So when you burn your boats, you either going to make it or you going to drown trying to get back. So the only decision you got is to make it. See, your should had just became your must. It must happen. See, I must make good decisions and good choices because I must provide for not only my family, but for families around the world. I must provide scholarships to get young men and young women to understand the importance of education. I must travel around the country so I can tell them and tell different people that I'm talking to that you have a purpose that's bigger than you and the world needs you. See, your problems that you're going through, when you share it with others, you're helping others understand if you can do it, they can do it. See, the reason why you always hear me say that I got kicked out of 2 different high schools and I graduated from my alternative school, the reason why I always say that is because I never want someone to say, man, he was smart. Man, he got his doctorate degree. Nah. The reason why I keep my transcripts in my office is because I always want my student athletes to know that, no, I had D's, I had F's, but when I needed to pass those classes, I got my butt to the tutoring center. And when I went to the tutoring center, I found people who were good because that was their position that they were in and they was good at those subjects that I needed help with. But what I found from my tutoring, y'all heard this story, is when he told me thank you, I'm asking him thank you for what? He said, man, I just got to thank you, Damon, because you're my friend. He said it was always difficult for him to make friends. I introduced him to all my football guys, to all my basketball guys, to all the girls I knew. He said, Damon, your football guys, they always say, man, what's up, John, when they see me? My basketball, what's up, John? The girls, John, hey, how you doing? He like, man, girls are talking to me. See, that wasn't his position. His position was over here where he was good at math and science. See, my position was over here and I didn't even understand that position, but John was able to plant that seed and water it. Let me back up. The seed was already planted. I always knew I was a people person. I always had friends. I always had this charismatic kind of personality. So I always had that. But what John did that day, when he said thank you, when he said, man, you introduced me to people, Damon, you helped me understand that, man, I do know how to make friends. I can be a friend. He watered that seed. He watered that seed. He helped me get into position even though I didn't know what my position was. I didn't know what my purpose was. But that seed that was planted, he watered it. See, your problems are just watering your purpose. See, those problems didn't come to deplete you. They came to complete you. See, those problems that you're dealing with, all they doing is watering. It's putting water on it. It's putting water on it. And you got to choose to hang around, not to hang around people who going to be like the storm, who going to be like birds, who going to try to pick up and take your seeds that's planted in you. See, that's why we got to be careful who we hang around, who we allow in our circle, because some people, they just come and trying to take. See, you got to hang around people who want water. See, those problems are watering. Because then, once it continues to be water, what happens is, just like for me, it starts producing leaves. It starts producing fruit. And see, now I know that's what I do. I produce fruit. See, that mess, those problems, they're the fruit now. And so now I'm able to talk to this young man and say, come on, man. Come on, man. Get this education. You more than a football player. You more than a basketball player. Come on, young lady. Come on, handle yourself better than that. Come on, man. Hey, I don't care what type of issues people try to say you have. You wonderful. You're beautiful. Come on, man. You was made by something bigger than you. Come on, man. And he didn't have any issues. So if he didn't have no issues, he didn't give you no issues. Come on. So don't even claim it. Break through that. Break that chain. We ain't even claiming that. We ain't even falling into that. Come on, man. We got this. We got this. We got something big that's working with us. So I'm planting fruit now. I'm planting fruit. And see, that's what you're doing. See, when you're in position, you're planting fruit. See, and here's the thing. All of us can plant fruit because we all got experiences that we've been through, because we've all been through problems that defines our purpose. All right, y'all. Hey, look. Spent a lot of time with y'all tonight. I told you I want to be here with you for about 30 minutes, give you 30 minutes, a little bit more than 30 minutes sometime, but at least 7 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock, but we're going to start 7:30 every Sunday. I'm going to try to bring it to you. And I hope these stories, I hope these different things that I do on Monday, that I do on Wednesday, even my Fun Friday, I hope that it's encouraging you. I hope on Friday that you're able to rock with me. I hope that everything that I'm saying to you, that it hits your spirit. And understand, I know I'm not going to reach everybody's spirit. So what I need you to do is I need you to share these videos. I know they long. I know especially this one. This get long on Sundays. But it's something that I got to get out of me. I got to give up this fruit. I got to give up this fruit because I got to tell y'all the importance of, recalculating. I got to tell you the purpose of, the importance of recalculating. Because if you're not recalculating, if you're not changing, tomorrow, y'all gonna wake up and y'all gonna have the opportunity to recalculate. I don't care what you're going through, you gonna have the opportunity to recalculate. You just gotta listen. You gotta listen to that thing that's inside of you and say, you know what, I deserve more. Let me recalculate and get back on the plan that I'm supposed to be on so I can live my purpose. Because if you're not living your purpose, you can always be incomplete. If we're not doing that thing that we were destined to do, we always gonna feel some kind of way. See, if we're hanging around our friends and, like I said, being in their purpose and not our purpose, what's happening is it's to the point where you're trying to put a square inside a circle. It's not gonna fit. You a square. You a square. Nothing wrong with being a square. I'm a square now. I'm good with that. I'm good with being a square. And I'm not fitting in that circle no more. You know that circle I used to fit in? That circle I used to fit in? I don't fit anymore. I'm a square. I'm a square. You're a square. You're a square, but you a square that's going to be able to travel around the country. You a square that's going to finally have that house and you're not written like the rest of your circle. You about to have a mortgage payment. You about to have that car that you dream about because you're not with your circle. You a square now. You about to have that promotion that you deserve because you're not hanging with that circle. You a square now. And you starting to hang around other squares, and other squares are starting to give you different information that you didn't have. Your circle couldn't tell you the different things that you needed to know in order to get you to the position where you needed to be. So that's what's crazy. Now you're a square. Stop trying to fit into that circle. You don't fit. You don't fit. Because you now understand that your problems had a purpose. Hey, y'all. This week, live your dreams. But you can't live your dreams being in position and being around that same circle. You a square and you don't fit in that circle no more. All right, y'all. Hey, have a phenomenal week. Remember, like I always say, you can live ordinary or you can live extraordinary. It's your choice. And since the power of life and death is in your tongue, why wouldn't you choose life? Why wouldn't you choose life? Why wouldn't you choose to live the life that you deserve? All right, y'all. Hey, have a great evening. I see some people on here. I see you. I see you, Jessica. I see you. I see you, Aaron. You not? I see you. I see you, Aaron. Wait, Aaron. AJ, you were square. You always knew you was square. And see, here's the thing, y'all. I gotta hit this right quick because that's my dude. I see you, Arthur. See, we always associated squares with being corny. I think Tyler Perry, I think Oprah Winfrey. You know, when I see Mark Zuckerberg, he a square. But look at the life he living. See, Jay-Z used to have this circle. I always say Jay-Z and Beyonce. I told you something about them. But Jay-Z used to hang around a whole bunch of people in his circle. You know, Benny Siegel. You know, he's hanging around Beams, and you know, he's Dame Dash, and he hang around all these, and I ain't trying to clown nobody, but look at the difference of what they're doing now when Jay-Z understood that he was bringing back to what I said a couple weeks ago, that he was a brand. When Jay-Z understood he was a brand and he had the potential to do some great things, what happened was he stopped hanging around that circle. You know, the circle with Dipset and all that, and he started hanging around some squares. And those squares started teaching them and telling them something different. They started teaching them and telling them something different. Now, look back on that group, those group of circles that he used to, that circle that he used to hang around. Think about what they doing right now. This for the young people, because you know, and there are people who understand. But I'm a hip hop head. That's why I know the whole story about it. But think about it. Think about what those people in that circle are doing now. Think about what Jay-Z doing now. Think about his brand. So yeah, AJ, you are a square and you don't fit into that circle anymore. Those of you who want to be successful, if you're going to be successful, it's time to be a square. I'm a square. I love staying at home. I love it. I love it. I love it. And then people, I'm a square. They say I go to bed early, but I'm up in the morning at 4:30 trying to get it in, trying to get my reading done because I'm trying to see what other squares are doing. See, maybe that's going to be the message next week because I'm on this now as far as this square stuff. This square stuff, I'm telling y'all, when you understand you a square and you don't fit in your circle, that's when you're going to take it to new heights. But you can't take it to new heights if you're not getting information from those other squares. Don't sit up and be around people and they got some information for you and you're not taking that information. I hope when I'm speaking to y'all, take this information, and y'all got friends who need to hear this information. Everybody share this video. Share it. Share it to different people. And I know they ain't going to have time. I know some of them going to be like, I ain't got time. That's a long video. Remember I told y'all last week, I said Mark Zuckerberg in his Harvard dorm room, he invited 5 people to that dorm room. And he said only 2 showed up. And those 2 people are worth billions. Those other 3, they missed out on the opportunity. So share this with your friends. Share this with your family. Pass it around. Let's share it, because what happens to me and what I love is when I see other people on here talking about their squares. So we need to do some square things together. You know what I'm saying? We need to go out, you know, I got a boat. Let's go out on a boat and hang out. Let's be squares together. And let's start getting these young people to understand that being a square is pretty cool. You know, when y'all take care of y'all business, we can get these young people to stop thinking that that circle is so important. You know, that circle, they having so much fun. But I tell you what, look at the people who really having fun. They squares. They squares. Steve Harvey was on the Steve Harvey Morning Show the other day, and he said, you know, he got money. He said, so he ain't in the club yet, but he said he about to be in that club. See, that's that square club. He said he about to be in that club. I don't know if y'all listen to it, but he said he about to be in that club. He said he knocking on the door to the club. See, to be in that club, we got to change our mentality, and we got to understand, as I close, that your problems had a purpose. But it's time to understand that we got to learn from those problems. We got to learn from those things that were given to us in order to learn something from. See, we get mad and we want to run from it. No, learn from it. See, that's when you trick it. When you say, you know what? Okay, okay, I see what this is. See, think about those things that you can't even fall victim to no more. Those things that you got over. You know, those things that, you know, some people don't smoke no more, some people don't drink no more. Whatever it is, that thing that used to have you, and now it don't have you anymore. Think about that. So think about those things that don't have you anymore, that now you laugh at. See, that's what you got to do to your problems now. Those different problems that try to come up, just laugh at it now like, man, please. I already got the keys to that. You got the keys. All right, you know how to defeat that. All right, we out. Appreciate y'all. Have a great week. Peace.